Uh, Doc, let's talk about how did technical analysis happen to you? What is your earliest remembrance that when you came across the subject technical analysis, and whether you was it like an aha moment? Wow, like how did it happen, and when did this thing happen?
See, I came to the market in 1977, and so at that time there was hardly any technical analysis around, so I didn't very obviously encounter any. I was a fundamental analyst, and since I am not from of the financial field, I am a completely self-taught financial person. So I taught myself how to read balance sheets, how to make forecasts based on fundamentals, etc. Until about 1981, I was quite a hardcore fundamental analyst. But even through those 4 5 years, I found that it would not work to the exactitude that I really required, and I knew there was more money to be made and than what I was making back then. So I've always been in the habit of reading. You can put it down to voracious. So, ever in search of some new things to read. So, somewhere in 1981, I came across a small book, and which talked about analyzing prices. And I sat there in that shop and I was reading it, and I didn't realize it, but I was reading for about 3 4 hours. And I got hugely fascinated by what that book was saying. And that book was only about moving averages. Okay. And I still remember the title. It said The Art of Low Risk Investing. That was the name of the book. He was not really talking about trading. The book was called Art of Low Risk Investing. So, and since I was doing largely investing at that time, that you could do it in a way different from what you were doing, reading balance sheets and all that. I used to go to the local kabadiwala and buy balance sheets by the kilo, right, and then kind of devour them all at home. So here was somebody saying that you just take the price of the day and then keep it up 5 week, 15 week and 25 week moving averages. And it showed how you could actually track and make money out of that. So it was like you rightly said, it was a aha moment. So I said, there is a different way to do this. And somehow it inherently appealed to me at that time. And I started keeping those kind of records. I got a book printed, so I could write the name of the stock, and I would pick these stocks at complete random, depending just on whether I liked the name or not, or just like that. And then I started keeping them. And to my great surprise, by somewhere around the end of 81, I found that it actually worked very well for me. It might have worked because that point of time the markets may have been trended. I do recall now that 81 was a reasonably trended year. It might have worked because the stocks I picked were in a trend perhaps, or it might have worked because I had this natural affinity towards technical analysis which I had not been exposed to earlier, or maybe it was a combination of all of those. But it worked beautifully, and after 1981 there was no looking back, right? So it just built. But then at that time there was hardly anything available by way of material. So I got into this phase where I would kind of badger all my friends from overseas and ask them to send me books on technicals. And because it used to take so much time for things to come from the US, for example, you would get a book once in 3 months, once in 6 months, and then that's how the learning went. And the learning continues till today.